Hi guys, welcome back to Spooky AF. I'm Suze, your host, and I'm joined by my co-host Rob. Rob, how are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you?
I am just finished a re-listen of the Black Tapes podcast, so I am blind with rage.
Very, very fair. Very, very fair. I don't think I have it in me to re-listen to it again anytime soon. Just purely because it just sets me up for disappointment.
Oh yeah, like every time I get more and more angry that they didn't finish. And I know this is a very specific conversation for a very specific portion of our audience potentially, but there was a very good podcast called the Black Tapes podcast. It was a serial podcast, and they didn't do it good in the end. So yeah, anyway, that's where I am today.
They did us dirty. That's more than fair. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
They pulled a final season Game of Thrones on us with it.
They did. I have to say, actually, in a very unrelated bit of news, our last episode that we recorded together, the Belvoir Witches,
yep,
was it was prophetic in ways that I couldn't have possibly seen at the time.
How?
When I was re-listening to the edit, at one point I made a very offhand comment of, yeah, just feeling a bit congested today.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure I'll be fine. And then we spent about 10 seconds joking about how I'm probably going to come down with some form of plague and just be dead, effectively. That death was only waiting around the corner for me, I think, was exactly what we said.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Literally an hour or 2 hours after that recording session, yeah, tested positive for COVID. So
yeah,
I
get this picture in my Telegram of a positive COVID test.
Yeah, so that was a fun one to deal with, talking about witches and illness and all that, and then lo and behold, I got done in myself. So
it turns out that maybe I took one of your gloves and rubbed it on a cat's back and pricked it with a needle and then put it in a jar full of piss.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, because I think it actually would have been easier for you to have a checklist of the symptoms that I did not have.
Oh no.
So my body was actively trying to kill me for the last 2 weeks. I was basically that Robert Baratheon clip of just give me something for the pain and be done with it.
Yeah.
But I've come out the other side now. I employed some counter magic myself in the form of ibuprofen and paracetamol, and
yes.
Basically just stayed drugged up for about 2 weeks. So I'm good now. I'm on the other side, feeling healthy, pretty much back to normal. And any witches at all that have put any curse on me, I will never laugh at you again. And I apologize greatly for any offense that I may have put on you. Please do not give me the plague.
Speaking of witches and like new age things, we are going to touch on new age beliefs in my case today.
Okay, well, new age beliefs I can deal with, just as once it's not, joking about curses and stuff, because I don't think my body has it in it again for round 2.
Fair enough. So where Rendlesham Forest incident that Rob did was full of evidence and actual recordings with transcripts and Geiger readings and all that, mine is full of coconuts, conspiracy theory, AM radio, Reddit post, Travel Channel nonsense. You are at the core of the paranormal right now. This is where we want to be. Fuck the recordings, the videos and everything. We want to be in deep in the trenches in AM radio and, conspiracies, tinfoil hats. Absolutely.
I am here for this. When you were telling me about this, I have been legitimately excited all week, and I still don't even know what it's about. You literally mentioned AM radio conspiracies, and I was sold.
Yeah, so today it's going to be a bit of a psychedelic dive into just some weirdness. It's not going to be super long because, again, evidence is, depending on what you count as evidence, it's kind of thin on the ground, but there's a persistent thread of belief running through some communities about it. So if you're ready, I'm ready to dive in.
Oh, I am well ready for this.
Okay. Like I normally do, I'm going to go through some of my sources, but some of them I'm actually not going to direct you to because I don't feel like it would be responsible of me as a podcaster.
That's fair.
Because they're so nonsensical.
I am intrigued, to say the least.
Because it turns out when you're digging into conspiracy theory AM radio stations, those stations often also spread a lot of disinformation about things like COVID.
I'm shocked.
And
Absolutely
vaccines.
shocked.
Yeah.
Shocked and appalled.
So yeah, I'm at no point am I encouraging you to go look up these and like take and listen to these serious. This one is truly a wacky one that I myself don't believe at all, but I'm fascinated by the story.
So what you're saying is you're not looking to red pill our audience, or you're not telling them to go do their own research.
No, I'm actively encouraging them to not research this and take it as on the surface that I hand it to them.
Take it as gospel. Fair. Okay.
Yeah.
I accept that then.
Okay. All right, here we go. So, Rob, which state do you think has the most missing people per 100,000? U.S. state.
U.S. state. I am going to say probably somewhere like, I don't know, maybe like Louisiana or like one of those southern states, like kind of thinking like border sort of
The states
Florida
that God forgot.
maybe. Yeah, for sure. Florida, actually, yeah, that one.
Florida, not a bad shout. Florida's actually not too bad. They're just 7.7 missing persons per 100,000. And this is according to worldpopulationreview.com. And they draw their data from the National Missing and Unidentified Persons, the NAMUS database.
That is sad that service exists, but continue. I'm assuming it's not Florida.
It's not Florida. In fact, so Florida, like I said, according to this graph, has 7.7 missing persons per 100,000. It's actually Alaska. Alaska has an astounding, according to this data, 173.54 missing persons per 100,000.
What? Are you serious?
I mean, that's what this data is telling me. Data displayed represents totals as of September 15th, 2023.
Is there even 100,000 people in Alaska?
Yes.
Well, no, apparently not, because they're all fucking missing.
They're all, the entire population of Alaska is missing.
Yeah.
No, so there are quite a lot of missing people, or missing persons, missing person cases, I suppose, would be. So currently it says open cases, there are 1,272, but that is also, there's actually a lot of cultural things around that as well, because this is often a big thing in Canada as well, with First Nations people that go missing. Like, it's often underreported or underinvestigated, and so they suspect that there's like similar cultural and social issues around Alaskan Native populations that like reporting and police like investigating and these historically underserved communities. So that was kind of a serious note, but so let's get back onto the fun stuff about having so many missing people. So
sentences I never thought would be spoken. The fun side of missing persons.
The fun side. The fun side is some of the theories behind why there are so many missing people. Now, you might say, well, Suze, Alaska is huge. I think it's something like twice the size of Texas, and it's mostly wilderness. And if you get a lot of like untouched wilderness, you're going to get a lot of people that go missing. And I would say, yes, but I think there's more. And I would be right according to the interwebs. So I'm going to introduce you to what is the Bermuda Triangle of the North.
Oh, shit. Okay. You had my curiosity, but now you have my attention.
So, the region, loosely defined as the Alaska Triangle or Alaska's Bermuda Triangle, is an area between. Okay, I'm gonna mispronounce this. Utqiagvik, which was formerly known as Barrow, Anchorage, and Juneau, and so it's a huge kind of part of the. Kind of the eastern part of the state, and kind of almost going into the Yukon Territory in Canada. There are so many wild speculations about how many people have gone missing in this particular area. There's like several articles from the Daily Star.
Oh, absolute pinnacle of journalism and integrity.
Journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, and they quote, you know, thousands of people go missing every year, all that. I don't have the precise numbers on that, but I do think that Alaska does have a much higher rate than the average of missing people. And because this is such a large part of the state, it happens within this triangle, that between these three cities. So you have all these missing people, and then you have to have. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the origins, or like how the Alaska Triangle first came to public attention, was first kind of theorized, and then I'm going to get into a little bit about a university ionosphere research lab, which has some paranormal. People like to tack paranormal ideas to it, but then I'm going to get on to an underground pyramid twice the size of the Pyramid of Giza, located in Alaska.
Okay.
So I told you, this one's going to be short and fun.
I genuinely felt my brain reset there with those words that just came out of your mouth.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been thinking about this all day while I've been working. It's just like how insane this is. So to give you a little bit of background on the Alaskan Triangle, people think it first came to public attention in 1972 in the autumn, when a small passenger plane disappeared en route from Anchorage to Juneau. So neither its passengers or wreckage were ever found, despite huge search efforts that spanned 325,000 square miles.
Okay.
So, and they never found any kind of wreckage, any kind of trace of what happened to these people. So, which that in itself is already a bit strange, but still in the realm of the possible. It's a big area of land that's hard to traverse. Would you agree?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's kind of breaking my mind a little bit, the size that we're talking about here.
Oh yeah. Throughout this episode, I'm going to pepper in numbers that have no basis in, like, no way I can cite them as real. So we're just gonna roll with it.
The way it should be.
So this source that I'm looking at now cites history, as in just the concept and subject of history.
Excellent. That's all we need.
History reports that since the 1972 crash, more than 20,000 people have gone missing in the Alaskan Triangle. Which is a lot of people.
That is a lot of people.
It's so many people.
Yeah.
Because you think, like, Alaska's not that densely populated.
No, I wouldn't imagine it's that densely I'd imagine that there's more wolves and bears than there are people.
Oh, I did see a figure saying that there were 300,000 grizzly bears, but I thought that was a bit extreme.
No, that's some real paranormal shit right there.
That's way too many bears.
It's just an army of battle bears. That's why everyone's missing, because they're inside the fucking bears.
We've just cracked it. The Alaskan Triangle is actually just a bear army.
That's it, folks. Hope you had a good podcast episode. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. No, so that gives you a little bit of context for the Alaskan Triangle. Like I said, lots of people go missing. There are multiple documentaries on this phenomenon by such reputable sources as the Discovery Channel and the History Channel.
I don't know why you are dissing the History Channel like that. I can think of no possible reason why the home of ancient aliens could be getting that tone from you, Suze.
I know. Well, you're going to love it even more because I saw video clips of these episodes that were on the Alaskan Triangle and the Dark Pyramid, as we will talk about. And it was on a site where the title of the page was "Watch This When You're High."
They know their audience. They know exactly what they're audience. Doing. Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of where we are. We're in Alaska. We're in the East. We're talking about lots and lots of missing people. So people have ascribed some various paranormal reasons why people have gone missing. They said that there's strange, like, electromagnetism in the area, and that's actually a really popular one because of something called the HAARP, or the HAARP. Have you heard of it?
I have, actually. My knowledge of this, unfortunately, is the sort of thing where I've read about it at about 3 o'clock in the morning. Like,
yeah, you have.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm familiar with this. I've heard of it. but I would like to know more because it's one of those areas that I always feel like I end up on a watch list anytime it's come up where I'm like, I probably shouldn't be on this part of the internet at this point.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, so according to, this is to the University of Alaska Fairbanks, what HAARP is in the real world, is High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. So, in a nutshell, it's the world's most capable high-power, high-frequency transmitter for the study of the ionosphere. That's essentially it. What gets interesting is what people think it is. So, people think it has to do with... so it's located just outside of Fairbanks, for those who are interested. And according to this source on medium.com, another reputable source, so depending on who you ask, HAARP is a high-frequency transmitter that can remotely set off earthquakes that topple Venezuelan dictators.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair.
It can control the world's climate. It's been built to undermine the fossil fuel industry, so people think it's like some like Greenpeace eco-terrorism.
Okay, that's the most out there one.
Yeah. Or help scientists study the ionosphere, which is what it's actually for.
Nah, I'm calling shenanigans on that one.
You're going with control of the world's climate.
Yeah, probably that one. That's a healthy one right there, I think.
Yeah, I guess of the crazy ones, that one's the most fun.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons that the Alaskan Triangle is that one of the kind of paranormal elements to it is they think that this HAARP installation or institute is somehow controlling the weather which is then making people face bad weather that they didn't know they were going to have, and then they go missing and die in the wilderness, or there's kind of weird electromagnetic waves that are putting them like far off course and like messing with their compasses, and there's various theories around HAARP and how it relates to the Alaskan Bermuda Triangle.
Okay, cool.
So that one, pretty standard, kind of very similar to the Bermuda Triangle. Like lots of flights have gone down there, very little wreckage has ever been found from a lot of them, lots of people missing, pretty standard stuff. It's when we get to the proper conspiracy theory network that I tapped into that we start getting a bit strange, and that has to do with something called the Dark Pyramid or the Black Pyramid.
I absolutely adore this. I don't even know what it is, and I'm already completely sold. If anything, you're just going to have to convince me it's not real.
Okay. So, before I get into what the Black Pyramid is, I want to give us a little vignette of someone who is searching for the Black Pyramid. So, on May 27th, 2020, 41-year-old Nathan Campbell took a charter plane out to Talkeetna, which flew him to a small lake in the corner of Denali National Park. He took some basic camping gear. He brought a hefty cache of food, stored in plastic tubs, and a two-way satellite communicator to check in with his wife and kids. Because he planned to spend the next 4 months smack dab in the center of interior Alaska alone.
That sounds like a really, really smart idea.
That sounds like a parent who realized they didn't actually want to be a parent.
Look,
Like, he would rather give up Wi-Fi, toilets, running water than be with his children.
I mean, you just recently gave up Wi-Fi for a weekend. Like, you're basically there already,
I have my ticket to Alaska booked.
Yeah. Look, I've read and seen Into the Wild. I know how this ends, unfortunately. That was also in Alaska, I think, so...
The Army of Bears.
The Army of Bears, yeah. The Battle Bears.
The Battle Bears.
Yeah, the reason why Alaska is so mysterious is because there's just this giant fucking wall, like Game of Thrones-esque giant wall, just preventing anyone from entering or exiting.
That's going to be the tagline for this episode. The Black Triangle, Battle Bears.
Battle Bears.
So Nathan Campbell, again, we're back to him. He'd obviously picked a very strange place to spend his summer vacation. He was surrounded by hundreds of square miles of uninhabited wilderness, filled with some of the roughest terrain known in Alaska. To travel in any direction, he would have to, bushwhack his way through head-high thickets and waist-deep beaver ponds. So not only are you dealing with bears, you're now also dealing with a squad of beavers.
They're in cahoots with each other. You know, they control the water.
They do.
They're the water benders of this world.
Absolutely. So the nearest town was Lake Minchimina, which has a population of 13, and it would require a week of bushwhacking on foot to get through.
The population of 13 people, but probably about 4,500 grizzly bears.
Yes, I'm not including the battle bears because we're just taking them as they are.
Yeah, fair.
So he wasn't there for fun, however. He was on a mission. He was there to he was normally known as a shy man, but he told the pilot of the charter flight that flew him out that far what he planned to do. He had come searching for what this article lovingly says only existed in the darkest, least updated corners of the internet.
Amazing.
The Black Pyramid, or the Dark Pyramid, which is supposed to be a massive underground pyramid, rumored to be, I misquoted, 4 times the size of the Pyramid of Giza.
Well,
and
there you
thousands, if not millions of years old, and it's supposed to be underground.
Okay. I can now see why this is the one you heard about on the History Channel, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, okay. I know exactly what I'm wading into now.
Yes, we are wading into ancient aliens territory.
Yeah.
Battle bears and ancient aliens.
Yeah.
Oh, connection. That would be strange. Sorry, now I'm turning into a conspiracy theorist. So, he claimed that his trip was essential to national security. Because he said that he believed that there was a military base that had been built and was like a secret military base that was surrounding it, and that had been wiping it from satellite imagery.
I see.
Yeah, so that's his, and that is supported by the other things that I've found on the Black Pyramid. Is people think that there is a base, and I'm gonna bring in a ufologist who is a. No, I'll just wait to tell you what our specialty is.
Awesome.
But we'll get there. But yeah, but there is other anecdotal evidence about this kind of having been wiped from the public mindset and from satellite and radar and things. So he shows up in the wilderness. No one else around in the town. The 13-person town was really looking for it. Obviously, he started his search in the deep Alaska. And then, as far as I know, that's like the last thing that I could find on him. So I have no idea if he made it back.
Well, no, the Men in Black clearly got him. So those MIBs. If you had looked just that little bit deeper, I'm sure you would have seen that the population of 13 in that town, they're all government agents.
Yes.
He probably walked into a diner, sat down, was like, looking all kind of like conspiratorial, hadn't slept, probably like real sketchy, like looking around, and then was kind of distracted a bit when his food was put in front of him. As soon as he goes to take his food, I imagine a government agent just turns around like paper, like probably reading the newspaper, just brings it down, and he's like, "Well, you thought you'd get closer, did you?" And then all of a sudden, before he knows it, a garrote just comes out of nowhere, straight around the back of him. Just fucking done.
And then that was the end of Nathan Campbell.
Yeah, and then, someone probably makes some comment of, "Oh, you're going to see the Black Pyramid, all right." And that's it.
And that was it. I think we have to go with that.
It's so canon now.
It's canon now. It's canon in the thought matrix that is this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Black Pyramid is located underground in the Alaskan desert, as it was put here. So it says it was discovered in the early 20th century, and that there have been numerous attempts and conspiracies to conceal the true nature of the finding, with many experts speculating that it could be of extraterrestrial origin and the remains of a long-lost human civilization. Okay.
Is this in any way related to the secret base that's supposedly in Antarctica as well?
No, I didn't find a connection, and surprisingly, Atlantis didn't come up either, which it usually does in this kind of stuff.
Damn it.
I know, but I just think like maybe we just haven't dug deep enough.
It goes deeper.
It goes deeper. Evidence was they claim evidence was first found of this pyramid structure on May 22nd, 1992. There was a Chinese nuclear test in Lanpur, and it got seismographic data of like a huge area of basically all the way to Alaska, essentially. Mm-hmm. Initially thought to be an earthquake, scientists analyzed the seismographic data and determined the structure to be a pyramid located near Mount McKinley.
Right.
So, yeah. So it was just this grainy image of imagine a picture taken on a flip phone of a small black pyramid beneath like a larger kind of outline of a mountain.
Of course. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm aboard. Yeah.
Yeah. So it says the existence was, according to this site, was confirmed on July 26, 2012, and she's the star of this podcast, when veteran journalist and UFO specialist Linda Moulton Howe reported its discovery on a select popular conspiracy AM radio show.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a slight detour from the Dark Pyramid, and we're gonna talk a little bit about Linda Moulton Howe.
Please do, because when you mentioned her initially, you sniggered, so I need to know what's up with Linda.
So, Linda Moulton Howe is an American investigative journalist. She apparently, according to her Wikipedia page, won a regional Emmy for documentary filmmaker. However, she's most known for her work as a ufologist and an advocate for a variety of conspiracy theories, and is a specialist for, you guessed it, cattle mutilations.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Yeah, in the ufology side of things, that's
her niche.
Yeah, fair. Okay. They were pretty common back in the 50s and 60s. So.
Oh yeah. Lots of unfortunate dead horribly mutilated cows. But that was her specialty, was kind of being able to identify when a cattle mutilation was of UFO origin.
Is she like walks into a room and she's all of a sudden like, cattle have been mutilated on this night.
This is like Law and Order UFO. Dun 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 dun. She walks in.
She doesn't need to examine the body anymore. She's just like, no, I know. She's like the wind is blowing at a slight different degree in this room than any other room. This cattle has been mutilated by UFOs.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just some like creep down the road who has a weird thing for cows.
No, she's like, my arthritis is at me. Clearly, the cattle have been mutilated by UFOs.
She's known for her speculations that the U.S. government is actively working with aliens, apparently.
Well,
allegedly.
Well, look, maybe she's onto something then, you know?
A fun tidbit about her, she entered the 1963 Miss Boise pageant for college scholarships and went on to win the Miss Idaho crown.
This woman has had a varied career.
Yes, she has. She actually, she was awarded a scholarship for her master's degree at Stanford. In communication.
That is impressive.
Yeah. So, like, she's a well-educated woman, and but she is a staunch advocate for UFO theories and government conspiracies.
She's our kind of lady, by the sounds of things. I feel like you're about to shatter the glass ceiling soon, but currently, as it stands, she sounds like she's one of us.
She's definitely into the creepy and the paranormal. However, I think that we can discuss it when we get to the speculation part of this episode.
It's as soon as you said however, I knew there was something coming.
So, like I said, we'll go back to the Black Pyramid. It was she confirmed its existence on July 26, 2012 on a conspiracy theory AM radio show that I'm not going to give the name of because it has lots of like misinformation and a lot of nonsense and like harmful stuff, as well as like the like ridiculous paranormal stuff that would be kind of fun to listen to. Mm-hmm.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about, but
Yep. So a few facts about this AM radio show. It's been around since the 70s. It boasts that it has 2.5 million weekly listeners, which is I didn't realize that many people were still tuning into AM radio.
Yeah, it's pretty popular. I think it's kind of viewed as that kind of like completely removed from government, sort of out there on its own in the fringes, sort of medium that people love.
It makes sense. So she went on this radio show as a in her capacity as a ufologist and cattle mutilation specialist. She claimed that she conducted a study in which she reported that the Alaska Triangle was absolutely real and was a zone where ships, planes, and people frequently and paranormally disappeared. She estimated that 18,000 people had gone missing in the area since 1988. Those were her numbers.
Okay.
So
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that I don't know where she's getting her figures, but they're pretty stark numbers. So the real punch to her interview came because she aired a pre-recorded interview she did with a man named Doug Muchler, or Muchler. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Who is a retired U.S. Army counterintelligence agent.
Okay.
So buckle up. He described the events leading to the uncovering of the Dark Pyramid, and he revealed a connection between the location and the U.S. military. So this man was transferred from Alaska to Fort Meade, home of the National Security Agency, the NSA, where he confirmed the pyramid story, allegedly. He used classified information to do so. He claimed that he searched for information on archaeological sites or underground facilities in Alaska in the files at the NSA, but he held back the shape of the structure. He held back that it was a pyramid. He was just he didn't want them to be. It's like when a serial killer's out and they like hold back a piece of evidence from the news.
Smart. Okay, that's very smart. Yeah.
He's thinking. So he was searching for evidence, and then he was told that the evidence could be found in like these various containers. This was pre-internet, so he was all analog. He went over there, looked around, didn't find anything, but then he started to come across like trace information about Alaska in different vaults. So he sat down with some stuff he had collected and he was starting to connect the dots, as he says, and two men approached him and said, "You don't need to know this stuff."
Of course.
I mean, it's the same Men in Black.
It's literally the Men in Black. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Howe claims that Muchler asserts that. So I mean, we're already like friend of a friend here. Yeah. Asserts that a local NBC affiliate aired a report about the discovery of the pyramid 6 months after the explosion that produced the seismographic data that showed that it was there.
Okay.
So he says that an NBC affiliate aired a report about it. He reached out to the station for a copy, and they staunchly denied it, that it had ever broadcast it, and stated they do not have a copy to provide because it does not exist.
Okay, well, maybe he just had some faulty information. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. So he maybe he's having that do you know that phenomenon of people like a shared hallucination of that something like in the media happened?
This kind of like mass hysteria sort of. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of people claiming that they've seen like a kid show that they can't find evidence of.
He Mandela affected himself.
Yes, precisely.
Okay. Yeah, it's entirely possible. Or the MIBs got to him and like nebulized him with their pen, but didn't quite erase everything from his memory.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So the day after Moulton Howe's interview with Muchler it aired, the son of a former Western Electric engineer got in touch with her and confirmed Muchler's claims and provided additional information. And this additional information is pretty wild. So he informed Howe that between 1959 and 61, his dad worked on a powerful electrical system emanating from a massive underground pyramid of unknown origin in Alaska.
Amazing.
So he claims that after the war, his dad studied electrical engineering and physics, and then was selected by the military to be part of a group of experts that would work in an underground structure in Alaska called the Black Pyramid. He repeatedly said how highly the government valued the project and the measures it took to keep it concealed. He confirmed that there was allegedly a military base built, but it was more focused on being a research project focused on energy distribution. So his dad, interestingly, apparently, went on to become a primary information provider for AT&T.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so he's into information technology and energy.
Yeah.
Like, he seems to have some expertise there. However, in his later years, quote, he would often complain about his electricity bill, saying it could be free if people only knew the truth.
Oh, that is an interesting little just hook to just pull you in.
Yep. If people only knew the truth, electricity could be free. Because one of the main claims of the Black Pyramid is that it generates so much energy within itself that it could power the electricity grid of the entire Northern Hemisphere.
Amazing. I'm fully on board with this now. I could really do with some free electricity.
Yes, absolutely. As a resident of the Northern Hemisphere.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to collect my free electricity, please.
Yes, I am now aware of the pyramid.
Yeah. Oh, my electricity provider. It's Black Pyramid.
Black Pyramid.
Yeah.
Black Pyramid Co.
Yeah. Perhaps you're not familiar with it because your eyes haven't been opened yet, but I know.
So yeah, that's kind of that's kind of the main claim, is that the pyramid resonates energy, and this aligns with a lot of New Age beliefs that the unique shape of a pyramid does resonate energy, especially when made of a particular material. And according to this site, which I thought was well worth quoting, if the results of the nuclear test were true, and there was a giant pyramid beneath the center of Alaska, then its powers would undoubtedly be immense. Capable of emitting energy waves that could, and I assume they mean potentially, make an outhouse in Fairbanks smell like springtime, or produce mind-blowing orgasms 1,000 miles away.
Fair. You know, they seem to think it kind of produces a different type of energy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they do caveat it and say that you and your partner have to be tuned into the pyramid's frequency.
Oh, of course. Okay, sorry.
So if you're not experiencing continual mind-blowing orgasms, like, you're not tuned into the pyramid correctly.
Yeah, you've not aligned your chakras and you're just ignorant. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Fair.
So yeah, there's a lot of talk about there being the secret military base around it. This research project run by the military is keeping the information from the world. I actually found some interesting information about, or some of my background information about it and I thought this site was actually worth quoting because I didn't realize it existed. Do you remember MapQuest?
I do.
Yeah, like pre-Google Maps. That
is
all that.
A reference I was not expecting today.
No, but they have a travel website.
What?
So I found it on MapQuest Travel.
Incredible. This is the real spooky paranormal thing here.
Yeah. And so actually you can actually find a video of Doug Muchler, the U.S. counterintelligence officer, like on YouTube. So
okay.
Like if you want to see what he looks like, and so that kind of brings me to the end of what is known or what is postulated about the Black Pyramid. There are, so in the media, it's kind of existed in the form of, there is a series called the Alaskan Triangle, and there was an episode called The Dark Pyramid and Violent Nature that I think I don't know what that originated. I don't know what channel kind of supports that. I don't know if it's the Travel Channel or not. I saw some, I definitely watched some History Channel Ancient Aliens clips. But
we'll assume it's the History Channel as well, to be fair.
Yeah, it's something in that genre, that oeuvre. Do you know Tom DeLonge?
I do. I'm aware, and I feel like I know what you're about to say, but yes, I do.
He has come out claiming that he knows about the huge underground pyramid beneath Alaska, and that he thinks it might be suppressing the consciousness of human beings.
Of course he has.
Yep.
Tom DeLonge really should have stuck with music.
Blink-182 was great.
Yeah. What's it? It's called his thing, the To the Stars Academy. Is that what it's called?
Oh, I think so. Something like that.
Where it's basically like he's convinced people to pretty much take advantage of him and research UFOs or like investigate the alien theories and all that sort of stuff. He keeps coming out with stuff online. You see like posts come up on Reddit every once in a while where he's like, at 9:00 I'm gonna post the truth, and he'll like tease something, and then 9:00 will come and go, and then he'll be like, sorry guys, I can't post it now because someone told me I can't.
What?
Yeah. And he'll be like, I have evidence of UFOs right here, I'm getting ready to post it, and then he just won't post anything.
Well, I mean, I can tell you a little bit more. I found I was looking because somebody posted this on his kind of the audio of him talking about the Dark Pyramid in Alaska, and on the r/Alaska subreddit. So the top comment is, I was there this summer. It's true. The pyramid is telling people there are actually good restaurants when there are almost none at all.
I want to meet that person.
Yes. Yeah, so I thought that was a great comment. And then there's also some posting, like some chatter about it on the r/UFO one, and this is where we have to start really critically looking at the Dark Pyramid in a way we probably have been taking it too lightly. The people, the community over at r/UFO, somebody posted saying, is there a Dark Pyramid beneath Alaska that's like, and they mentioned a couple of different aspects of it, and the top comment was just no. So
there it is, guys.
Yeah. So I'm like, if you can't get the r/UFO community on board with you, maybe there's not much to your claim.
Yeah. If you can't get those guys on board, then you've got no foot to stand on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe if he had included the potential of the pyramid causing mind-shattering orgasms, maybe more people would have been interested.
Well, I don't want to start a war with Reddit, but, I would imagine the majority of the people who browse the UFO subreddit...
Don't inflame Reddit.
I don't want to imply anything, but,
So, yeah, I know that was kind of a topsy-turvy ride, but that's the Dark Pyramid and the Alaskan Triangle in a nutshell. And I want to say I researched it about as much as you would expect someone to research something like that.
Yeah.
who was not typically logging into AM radio stations.
No, and that was very brave of you. So I think you should be commended for that.
So yeah, what do you think? Where do you stand on like ancient aliens, the Alaska Triangle, the obviously very real 300,000 member strong battle bears? Yeah.
So ancient aliens, I think, is total bullshit. I'm just going to say that right now. As much as I believe in UFOs, I do not think that aliens created the pyramids or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I also have an archaeology degree, so that is one of the reasons that I don't believe any of that. So no, ancient aliens, no, not a fan. Yeah. I don't think it's a thing. The pyramids though, I don't know. We've established Alaska is a pretty big place. Lots of people go missing. Maybe the people are going missing to feed the Black Pyramid, and that's why it's producing energy. So
now we've made the Black Pyramid demonic. We've come full circle. We're now back in my territory.
It yearns for human. That's what it runs off.
It is the building essence of Cthulhu.
Exactly, and maybe that's why the planet is so vastly overpopulated now. It's because the U.S. government is preparing to feed the pyramid. Oh, okay. Now I can get on board with this and this being canon. Yeah, I'm definitely of the on the skeptic side of all of this. I think it's all a bunch of nonsense, but very interesting, hilarious nonsense. I think people go missing in Alaska because it's got a lot of wilderness and it's a dangerous place to traverse. Yeah, 100%. It's all total bullshit. The genuinely scary thing of Alaska is that there are legitimately things there that can kill you, like battle bears, bears, wolves, other people, hunters. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the real scary shit.
Yeah, so I basically I did this episode so no listener ever had to stumble on it and think I'll spend some time looking into this.
And as I said, you should be commended for that, because I can assure you I will not be looking up any sort of black pyramids.
Yeah, so that I think that kind of covers it for me. I hope you had a good time, like on this wild ride.
I enjoyed this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. You've inspired me to, look into other kind of mad shit that could potentially be going on as well around the world. So you've inspired me with a few different ideas that I have now for future episodes. So thank you for that.
Yeah, because like on the show, we want to give you variety. We want to give you some things that we've got like that are really like creepy and have some really compelling evidence to them, and then we want to give you like coconut banana nuts.
Yeah, that's I think a really good way of describing it. Certain episodes you need to sleep with the light on, and then other episodes you need to make sure that your third eye is opened.
Or else you'll be missing out on free electricity and mind-blowing orgasms.
Yeah, and that's really the takeaway from today is,
yeah.
find the Black Pyramid.
Align your chakras. Yeah, so I hope you guys have a great week. We'll be back next week with another fun story. But, yeah, Rob, let's go live our lives after work today.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited for the weekend. I'm excited to... just really just do as little as possible. And yeah, I'm ready now. I'm all conspiracied out for the next few days.
And now I guess I can just leave the listeners saying like, I guess you can now feel bitter about your electricity bill.
Oh damn! You brought us right back into reality, Suze.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, that's it from us. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Take it easy, guys. Bye.